So my mind went from I don't want to pay for a ambulance bill to damn, I might have to get surgery. Like, this is serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up, my beauties, and welcome back to another video. So today I am going to be giving you guys the story time of what really happened in Minnesota while flat ironing my hair. So it's gonna be kind of like a get ready with me story time or whatever. But yeah, so I'm gonna just jump right into the video. So if y'all haven't already, you'll need to go ahead and watch my first video, my first upload. I think the title was something like Road Trip Part 1, and this is gonna be Part 2. I'm also insert some clips of me at the hospital and stuff, but I just wanted to give y'all like a little bit of a background or like a rundown or whatever of what was going on and what actually happened. So my friend graduated with her master's from a school in Minnesota. So she decided to attend her virtual graduation in Minnesota. So she invited a group of us. It was like a bunch of couples that went or whatever. And we got Airbnb, and we, picked out some activities or whatever to occupy our time while we were there, and skiing happens to be one of them. Now, none of us ever have skied before. Like, none of us in the group have skied before. So we were all new to this, but we all thought it would be fun. Like, yeah, why not? Like, I'm all for, like, random stuff. So, like, I'm like, okay, I've never done skiing before. I'm all excited. I'm all trying to hype Sam up, looking at our, we was buying our snowsuits and stuff, and I'm just hyping him up. He was so nervous. He was like, I don't want to ski because what if I break my legs and all this other stuff? And I'm just like, babe, you ain't gonna break your legs. Come on, let's do it. So long story short, we ended up going or whatever. So we gets there. Now we signing a waiver or whatever. We had to do all of this before we got to the actual ski resort. So we did all of that or whatever. We get signed in. First of all, when we got signed in, the first thing that we had to do was put on our ski boots. Why was them ski boots so hard to put on? Like, I just don't understand. They were so hard to put on, and then they were so heavy to maneuver in. Like, it was just crazy. So nonetheless, we got the ski boots, we got the skis. They said that they didn't give ski sticks to beginners, so none of us had ski sticks. And Sam was just like, wait a minute, we not getting those ski sticks? Like, we don't even know how to stop. Like, why wouldn't we get ski sticks or whatever? And I'm like, well, I just want to get on the skis, so it don't really matter to me. Just being my adventurous self or whatever. So, we finally get on the ski, get the ski boots, get the skis and stuff like that or whatever. So we all, sitting there, and then I just start getting real anxious or like real nervous. I'm like, dang, I'm really scared. Like, all of that hype, yeah, let's go, babe, let's do it. It was still there, but I was so nervous. Like, oh my goodness, like I was really like just like, dang, I never done this before. And they didn't give us no instructions, no training, no, this is how you stop. Like, nothing. Like, they didn't give us no tutorials, no nothing. They just said, here go the skis, good luck. You signed your life away. We don't care what happens. So we're like, all right, well, we just gonna take it for what it is. So we first get out there, and everybody is going for the smaller slope, the smaller ski slope or whatever. And my friend Sherelle was like, I ain't getting on that small one. I'm getting on a big one. So I'm like, go on, girl, you go ahead and get on a big one. I'm about to get on this small one. at least just to warm up or whatever. So that's what I did. I got on a smaller one or whatever to warm myself up. And that was scary, but it was fun. You know how like a roller coaster would be, like it was like super fun or whatever. So I did that. I was screaming the whole way down. And I still didn't stop. Like when I got to the bottom of the hill, I couldn't stop. I don't know if y'all could hear it in the video, but it was like, Shatia can't stop. I really couldn't stop though. So I got down to the end or whatever, and I ended up falling on my butt. And this lady was at the bottom, and she was just cracking up. She was laughing, and I was laughing too, because it was like a soft fall. It wasn't like my second fall. So I was good with that. I was like, you know, okay, that wasn't that bad. Let me just get up and go ahead and go back with everybody else or whatever. And I'm even thinking about going on a bigger slope or whatever. So I get back to my man and them, and you know, my bad y'all, but I'm back. So I was saying, I got back to my man and them, and I realized that nobody else was skiing. I'm like, why they not skiing? But I think they had got real scared. So like they was like, you know, trying to ski, and then they was like, nah, this ain't for me. But Sam, he was trying to get up the slope. So he finally got up there or whatever. Like they stopped the little the ladder. I don't know if it's not a ladder. It's like an escalator. It's not really an escalator either. But the little belt that was going and taking you up the slope so you can ski down the slope. He was getting on that. So they ended up stopping it or whatever so that he can, you know, get on there. And it took him a little minute, but he finally went up there and came back down. I watched him come down. I'm all cheering him on, like, go, back, go, yay, okay, you know, because he was not really wanting to do it. So I was really excited that he up there. He had ended up getting up there or whatever. So once I realized he had got up there, I'm like, oh, I think I do want to do the bigger slope or whatever. So I'm like waiting on him to come back from going down the hill, and he was taking forever. So I'm like, okay, well, by the time he get back, he can see me coming down the hill, you know what I'm saying, the bigger hill, because it's gonna take me a minute to get up there, then it's gonna take me a minute to come down. So bet. So I goes and I go up the little belt that takes you up the ladder. I mean, the little belt that takes you to the top, and I am on, you know, the bigger slope or whatever. So as I'm going up, I see Sherelle. She not moving. I'm like, go Sherelle, why you know, just cheering her on. Maybe she needs the encouragement. Like, go Sherelle, go Sherelle. And so then I go a little bit further, and I see Shay, and she not coming down either. I'm like, why nobody going down? Like, but I'm still cheering them on, like, go Shay. Go Shay, you got this, Shay. Go ahead, girl. Shay needs to turn around, huh? Go Shay. I'm gonna insert the video because I really was screaming their name, like, go, go, you got this, you got this, blah, blah, blah. Go Sherelle, you got this. Go girl. I'm so ghetto. Meanwhile, I'm all trying to talk myself into it, like encourage myself while I'm going up the little belt that's gonna take me to the top of the hill. Hey, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall too. Don't fall, you got this, you got this, you got this. Okay. At this point, I just want to get to the bottom to give it to my husband so I can get off this shit. So I finally get up there. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, that junk was moving really fast. Like, when I first got to the top of the hill, I didn't even have time to really take a breath. I took a breath, but it was like very short. Like, I didn't really have time to, you know, make a plan on what I was gonna do if this happened and what this happened. None of that. Like, I was just up there, and then I was like, okay, let's just do it so I can get down to the bottom, get back to my husband. And boom, that junk was going so fast. When I say I was going so fast down that slope, like it was like the further down or for closest to the bottom that you got, the faster you was going. So I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. On the video, you can hear me saying, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Oh shit. Oh, oh. Because like I really was like, wow, I'm going so fast. And while I was having fun, I was enjoying it, because you know how you enjoy a roller coaster, even though you have no control over a roller coaster or whatever, you still enjoying, you know, the thrill. So, and I love roller coasters. So that's me at this point. I'm just enjoying the thrill. And, you know, I can't, like, nothing else. I got tunnel vision at this point. I just see the bottom of the slope. I mean, the, you know, the end of the slope or whatever. And as I'm going down, somebody is in front of me. So in the meantime, I'm trying to dodge the person that's in front of me so I don't hit them and knock them over. So I shift my body and run into a hill. So you know how like it's like little hills or whatever that they put for people to do tricks over, or to, you know, have that little jump or whatever. So it was one of them. And I'm like, oh man, I seen it. But again, I was going so fast, I didn't have time to actually think about what I was going to do. All I know is that I moved out the way of hitting somebody so I wouldn't hit them. And then this was in my way. So I'm like, and it all happened so fast. When I say it all happened so fast, it was like boom, 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 boom. Like it was just so fast. I'm like, dang. I'm trying to think about, you know, what I should do. But by the time I was thinking about what I should do, I was already in the air. So basically, I went uphill and it took me off my feet. I don't remember falling. I remember seeing the hill, and I remember avoiding the person that made me go up the hill. But I don't remember falling. I don't remember my hitting my head. But apparently, somebody came over and was talking to me, asking me to remember a bunch of stuff, and I could not remember it. Like, she was asking me, what city were we in? And she had named like 3 animals. This is all what my boyfriend's telling me. Like, he was like, she wanted you to name like 3 animals or whatever, and or like remember 3 animals that she was saying to you so that you could name them back, and you couldn't. So they was like, yeah, we need to call the EMS. So they ended up calling the EMS or whatever. And I'm like, I don't want the bill. So I'm not going to the hospital. She was like, you need to go to the hospital because you barely can remember anything. You're not really here, you know, you forgot, you basically you can't remember nothing or whatever. So I'm like, all right, well, if I go to the hospital, I don't want the ambulance bill, so we just gonna take me to the hospital. So one of the girls, Shay, the girl that we was with, she was like, I don't think she should go to the hospital. And I'm like, I don't think so either. But the way that they making it seem, I feel like I should just go to the hospital, you know, just in case or whatever, because I wouldn't want to, you know, go home thinking everything is okay and don't wake up. So we ended up going to the hospital or whatever. Okay, you guys, so here we are in the yard. This is what happened to my face. Apparently, I only feel this right here, but this is what happened. This is where we are. And we're just gonna make some, like, do some CT scans to make sure I'm okay. Make sure there's no internal bleeding or anything like that. Because I did suffer a traumatic fall. But they just want to make sure everything is everything before they release me. And I feel like that is the most responsible thing to do. I really feel like this side of my face is like more messed up than it is, but we'll have to wait to tell. My body is sore. Other than that, I feel fine. I'm waiting on Babe to get here so that he can just comfort me. I'm gonna take this whole weekend slow from now because, like, what the fuck? Like, this is stupid. But yeah, we're here. I'm waiting on Babe to get here. I'm also waiting for the doctor to come back so that he can escort me to my skins. I stripped down to my gown. And yeah, this is where we are. Sucks, but alright, you guys, I'll call you back. And they admitted me. They took a CT scan and they found a brain bleed. Like, they found, like, they said the way that they said it, it was like a vessel that was in between. I don't know. It was a brain bleed though. And they said that it didn't look good. They didn't feel comfortable sending me home. They wanted to keep me overnight so that they can monitor me and, you know, make sure everything was okay by morning, because if it had gotten any worse, then they would need to do surgery. So my mind went from, I don't want to pay for an ambulance bill to, damn, I might have to get surgery. Like, this is serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally have a brain bleed. Then I ended up seeing my face. I didn't feel it, but my face was so scratched up. I'm like, how the hell did my face get scratched up if I fell on the back, you know, on my back, in the back of my head or whatever? Like, how did it end up hit my face? But I don't know if y'all can tell, but through my makeup, but this right here is scratched up. All of this was scratched up. My whole forehead was scratched up, and it's healing so good. And I'm so thankful. Like I said, I'm gonna insert some pictures and some videos and stuff so y'all can see what I'm talking about. But it was healing so good. I mean, it is healing so good. But yeah, so when we got to the first hospital, my boyfriend was there with me the whole time. Like, he didn't leave my side. Sherelle wanted to, but I'm like, you know, go ahead and enjoy the party because we here for you and your celebration or whatever. I don't want that to stop or whatever. So thank God I was with the people that I was with too, because had I been with anybody else, I'm not sure how that would have went. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was with some people that really actually care about me. So I'm really, 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 really appreciative of that. It's unfortunate that that even happened, but the fact that it happened when I was with people that actually care about me, I appreciate it. So anyways, back to us being at the hospital. So my boyfriend was there with me the whole time or whatever. He like, okay, I'm about to go back to the Airbnb and get our car because we drove there. Everybody else flew. So we ended up renting a car outside of their car. So he like, I'm about to go back to the Airbnb, get the car, and I'm gonna come back. And I'm like, okay. So they gave me a COVID test while he was gone. I hate them COVID tests. Like, I used to have to take one for work every week. Oh my goodness. That junk used to piss me all the way off. Ooh, why is so nappy right here? Anyways, but it used to piss me all the way off. Like, and them weren't even the bad ones. Now, the one that they gave me at the hospital was super bad. Like, it was the one, I grabbed that lady arm so fast and so hard. Like, I really grabbed the mess out of her arm. Like, I know she was probably like, girl, if you don't let me go. But it was one of the ones that made you feel like you drowning. Like, I really don't like them. But that's the one that they had to they ended up giving me at the hospital or whatever. So they gave me a COVID test while he was gone to get the car. And the hospital was like 30 minutes away from the Airbnb, the first hospital. So while he gone or whatever, they told me they was gonna have to transfer me and because they didn't have no neurologist at the hospital that I was at, because I just went to the emergency room, the closest one, and they was like, you know, we have a brain doctor basically at such and such hospital, which is like 15 minutes away, and we want to take you there. So when my boyfriend came back, I had to let him know, like, babe, they want to transport me or whatever, and you know, just to so they can keep a better eye on me and stuff like that. And the doctor was like, you might not be able to go with her. So I'm like, I start tripping, I start crying. I'm like, I don't want to be by myself. I don't know where I'm at. I don't know nothing about this state, nothing about this city. Like, no, my man has to be with me. Like, I'm not about to go nowhere by myself or whatever. And they was like, well, unfortunately, due to COVID protocols, I don't think, you know, he's going to be able to go, but you guys can call over there to see. And I'm like, yeah, let's call over there and see, because if he can't, then I'm not going. Like, y'all, I was really so scared. Like, I did not want to go nowhere by myself. Like, it was crazy. I really just didn't want to go by myself. I didn't want to be there in the hospital by myself or whatever. They was all trying to convince me, like, well, it's only gonna be a few hours. The doctor will be there by such and such time in the morning, and it's already this time. And I'm like, no, I don't care. Like, no. If my man can't come with me, then I'm not going. So he ended up calling the hospital where they wanted to transfer me to. And they like, yeah, unfortunately, they only allow visitors during visiting hours or whatever. So he would have to come back at 8 in the morning. And I'm like, 8 in the morning? Like, so that means I'm gonna have to spend the night by myself. Like, no, I don't want to do that. And I was crying, y'all. Like, the EMT lady was like, she was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I wish it was something that I could do different, you know, because I was really crying. Like, I was crying. She was like, but, you know, just for the safety of everybody, that's kind of the protocol that they have in place. I mean, it has recently changed or whatever, because at first it wasn't letting nobody in, regardless to what time it was or if it was visiting hours or not. So she was like, well, that's the good part about it, but I'm so sorry. I wish it was something different that I could do for you. And I'm like, I called my mom. I called my mama, like, Mom, they want to take me to a different hospital. They said that Sam can't come with me, so I'm going to be by myself. Girl, my mama was like, well, Tia, you don't have to, you know, just suck it up. Suck it up. You're going to have to go. And then my boyfriend was like, man, yeah, just, you know, be cool. You can FaceTime me the whole night. And I'm like, I don't even have my charger. I was just crying. Yeah, you can see my boyfriend felt so bad too. He was like, man, I don't want to leave you by yourself neither, but you know, I do want you to be okay, and I want them to look after you, you know, with extra care. So I'm like, oh my God. So he ended up following us to the hospital, even though he couldn't come in, and you know, they let him say good night or whatever to me and stuff like that or whatever. And then they actually took me up to my room, got me admitted, you know, got me into the bed and stuff. And you know, the doctors and nurses were really sweet, like super sweet or whatever. Like, they was just telling me what they was gonna do to me, what was going on. They kept poking me, trying to draw blood. I'm like, why they keep trying to draw blood? I'm here for a damn concussion or a brain bleed. So why do they need to keep drawing blood again? I know one of them was for a pregnancy test, because you know, if you're pregnant, you can't get they don't suggest you go under the CT scan and stuff like that. But another lady came in and tried to draw some more blood, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why do they keep trying to draw blood? So but yeah, they got me checked in and stuff like that, took my blood. They kept checking my blood pressure, you know, just monitoring my blood pressure. I guess that was a way for them to tell if what was going on in my brain was getting worse, if my pressure was to go up. Because the doctor, when we actually left for good, the doctor wanted me to, he advised for me to go ahead and buy a blood pressure cuff so that I can continue to take my blood pressure. while I'm at home, just to monitor it and make sure it's at safe levels or whatever. So where am I at? I'm at the hospital, the second hospital, by myself. It took me forever to get comfortable. My phone was dying. They gave me like so many blankets, but I still could not get warm. I was so freaking cold. And all in all, I just wanted my man. I kept crying. I was still crying. But I wasn't trying to, be that type of person. So I was trying to like not really show that I was crying, but I was crying. So I love this hair, y'all. This hair is by me, by the way. I made this wig and this is my hair. But yeah, so I was crying, and then she was like, basically, well, trying to encourage me, like, well, it's only gonna be like 3 more hours until he can come see you, because by that time it was like 5 o'clock. So she was like, it's only gonna be a few more hours, and this and that, so it's not gonna be that long. And then hopefully you can get out of here as soon as possible, and all this other stuff. So I'm like, girl, I'm not trying to hear nothing you saying. Because either way it go, I'm still in the hospital by myself. But no, they took good care of me though. When I actually woke up in the morning, What's up, you guys? So it's the next day, and this is the update. I had another CT scan. They took x-rays of my knee and my shoulder and my neck. It all came back. They took me down for another CT scan. The neurosurgeon came in after my CT scan and told me that the brain bleed didn't get no bigger, no smaller. So that's good. But they want me to go back and get another CT scan within 3 weeks to make sure, everything is still either not moving or has gone down, so that I can make sure I'm on the right path of healing. And he was like, basically, you're gonna have symptoms of a concussion, like you're gonna have like real bad mood swings. You could be really tired and all this other stuff for up to a year. And I'm like, for up to a year? Like this one night gonna cause me to have symptoms for up to a year? Like, that's ridiculous. But he was like, well, on the brighter side, everything came back, in good standing. So I'm like, yeah, that is a good thing. But meanwhile, they still had me hooked up to the IV. They took x-rays because the way I fell, I messed up my knee. I could hardly walk. Like, it was so bad, y'all. But they took x-rays of my knee, my shoulders, and like the back of my neck or whatever. And it all came back, good, clear. No fractures, no broken bones or whatever. And the brain bleed didn't expand. So that was the good part about it all. So 8 o'clock finally came. My man was able to come see me. He was at the door. Base back. They finally let him in. They made him go home yesterday, and I was crying and everything because I was so scared to be here by myself once I transferred hospital. When I say he was at the door at 8:01, he was in the room with me. So he was there. He was like, I didn't even sleep last night. I wanted to make sure I got up and came back to you. So he got there. And, we just was waiting on them to confirm everything after they ran all my tests and stuff like that. I ate. I hope it's still warm. It look all cold. Because I hadn't eaten anything since the day before that morning. Oh my God, I was so hungry. I kept feeling like I wanted to throw up. It was like, oh, they gave me some nausea medicine. They kept trying to give me Tylenol. And I'm like, no, if y'all don't put something on my stomach, don't give me no more medicine because I'm going to puke all over everybody in here. So the only thing that they gave me to take the pain medicine with was this. So I'm waiting for, what is it called? Room service. So, like, I really had to, like, demand for them to give me some food. Because they didn't want me to have nothing by mouth, because of my x-rays and stuff. So, once I could eat, I'm like, don't give me nothing else until I eat some food. Because at that point, it had been like 24 hours before I had ate. Because y'all, that was the first night we got there. Like the very, very first night we was in Minnesota is the night that the accident happened. So, long story short, they ended up giving me some food. All my stuff came back clear. The nurses were so nice. They fell in love with my boyfriend. They was like, oh my God, you are so lucky. Where did you find him? I'm like, thank you. I know. Like, he is so, what did they call him? They kept saying he's so, what was it, genuine? I don't know. But he was like real concerned. He was paying attention. He was like, you know, asking questions where I couldn't ask questions, and they just loved it. They was like, you know, you are so lucky to have somebody like him by your side. And I'm like, girl, don't go. I already know. No, but they were really complimenting him though. And after that, they sent me home finally. And then y'all gonna see what will happen later on that night when they actually sent me home. But when I got back to the Airbnb, my friend was waiting for me. She welcomed me with open arms. She was like, oh my God, I'm so happy you okay. I was so embarrassed that that happened to me, like, while we were celebrating her graduation. Like, I know it didn't, it's like not like I planned it or nothing, but still, like, I was really embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause why you gotta be a party pooper? Like, why you gotta have something, do something stupid, like get a concussion when we all on vacation trying to have fun? So I was a little embarrassed about it, but they was like, girl, don't be embarrassed. We just happy that you're okay. And, you know, shoot. The day went on. She graduated. We watched her ceremony. I was there for that. I was awake and alert. Everybody was in good spirits, and after, like, literally after that accident, everything just went back up. Like, everything was like, everybody was still partying, everybody was still having fun, we all was still having a good time, enjoying ourselves, playing games.
It's me, smart guy.
Better my glasses drink. And yeah, you guys will see the rest of that in the videos that I post within this video. And then I'm also going to do part 3 where I post where we went to George Floyd's memorial. That was so nice. Oh my goodness, I love that. It was such an experience, but educational at the same time. Very, very much historic. But yeah, so that's pretty much the background of how I ended up with a concussion while going skiing in Minnesota. Without further ado, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Tell your friend to tell a friend to come like, comment, and subscribe. And we on the road to getting us some more subscribers. Gang.